For today's lesson, you're going to need both of these papers, and we're going to talk about what a cartogram is. All right, so to begin with, I'd recommend, I'm copying down what I have here, but a cartogram is just a map, okay? But it's a map that's distorted in a way to show certain information, okay? And specifically, we're looking at numerical data. That just means numbers, all right? So some good examples are like this, okay? This is a map of the United States, and it's looking at the value of different houses and just the average value of a home. And you can see that for some of the states like California and even Washington, they are like enlarged to reflect that they have higher house prices as opposed to like South Dakota here. Not a lot of people are moving to South Dakota, so their house prices are not very high up. All right, we also have this one. This shows billionaires in the world, the number of billionaires that a country has. You can see the United States has a lot of billionaires, as does like Germany and Russia. And then you'll notice developing countries like here in Africa, it's shrunk because there aren't any there. So that's the basic idea of a cartogram, is to show the relationship between whatever information you're looking at and a map. All right. Now, for our uses, we're going to use these types of cartograms. Okay, they are made up of little dots. On the back of your handout, you have this. Okay, you're going to be using this one later. This is looking at the food consumption around the world per person in a country. Okay, so notice that it sort of looks like a world map, and it's broken up into squares to help visualize the actual information for it. Okay, so if we go back to the very first page here, this is one that shows the food per person in the United States in 2013, approximately. Okay, and the way they did that is they took the amount of food, the amount of calories that were eaten, and we divided it by the total population at that time. That gives us the amount of food per person on average each day. Okay, so then what we're doing is we're taking that amount of, in this case, 3,682, and we're splitting it up into a 10 by 10 grid. Okay, so we take that number and divide it by 100. Now, you don't need to know how to calculate this, but you do need to know how many squares we need. In this case, when we divide by 100, we got about 37 squares. And so we filled in 37 squares, or they did, or somebody did, I don't know. And they tried to make it look like the United States. They kind of failed, but that's fine. This is Florida, Texas, here's Washington. So my recommendation when you go to do this, we're going to do it for India. Okay, this is how much they have for total consumption, approximately, for calories, and they divide it by the population, and that gets the per capita or per person food consumption. So about how many calories each person eats on a daily basis. All right, now we need to divide that by 100. When you divide by 100, you just move the decimal point over 2 places, and that's going to get us 24.59, so about 25 boxes. Okay, so then when we go to make our cartogram over here, we need to know what India looks like. Okay, I have a map here that shows the normal size of India. That's a good reference point, and what I did is I just kind of sketched out what it looked like. Okay, I need this to go away. Thank you. Okay, so I sketched out approximately what India looked like, and then I counted out 25 squares because that was approximately the amount of it was 2,500 calories per person each day. So I counted out about 25 of these, and then I'm just going to go and shade them in. Okay, it doesn't need to be perfect. It does need to be neat. Okay, and this will give me, it's kind of like if you've taken Mr. Guest's class where you make like the little 8-bit images. It'll give us kind of an 8-bit version of what India looks like. And it has this little part that it annexed over here. All right, so that is a cartogram, and what that represents is that that each person has about 2,500 calories. And if we had, and as you can see up here, there's a key for the one for the United States. It says that 1 square, nope, I moved Florida. 1 square is 100 calories per day. So we also need to put that down here so that 1 square equals 100 calories per day. Okay, per person. So per person per day. Okay. And a lot of times on cartograms, so like if we go over to the map that you have on the back, you'll notice that it has numbers already on it. So it tells you the number of calories, and then it has a key down here, and then it says each square reflects 50 calories per day. Okay, so again, you don't need to be able to recreate these. You do need to be able to tell that countries that have more squares have a higher amount of calories that are being eaten per day, and you're going to do more of that later in the unit. All right, that's pretty much it. As long as you have gotten this cartogram filled out and you're good to go on cartograms, then you can continue on with the lesson. See you.